Hi, this is Nayalla. Thank you so much for joining me again today. So this is part 2 of Love is the Antidote, and just gonna basically carry on where we left off in part 1 and just remind ourselves that we are mainly made up of water and that water is programmable. And when we realize just how important it is to put nurturing and nourishing and beautiful things into our water to program it, we then begin to realize how whatever is swishing around in our internal water has an impact on what we see and experience outside of ourselves as well. So the inner is mind made reality. So what's going on inside of us is then what shapes the material or the matter. It is mind made, and that is how the holographic matrix earth works. It's a like a feedback loop. What is going inside of us, we see that playing out, and that is how this reality has been corrupted by that important feedback loop. We can use that to our advantage when we realize that we can become the programmers for ourselves and that we have more control of our experience here on earth, that we don't have to just let outside influences affect our experience. We do have some say in it. We start to see changes on the outer plane as well. So when we start to realize that within us is both space and time and the ability to step out of space and time, we start to feel into illusions. We start to see illusions on the outer plane, and we start to see how the mind has maybe been affecting our experiences as well. So the reality that we are experiencing right now is mind made, and it depends on what is going on in the mind and also what is swishing around in our internal waters, how we've programmed ourselves, how other people have programmed us, how the environment we live in has programmed us. Is having an impact on what we're experiencing on the outer planes as well. So awareness of mind-based programs actually allows us to change certain things. We're able to change our energy, change our vibration and frequency. We're able to play around with light and feel into what is pure light and what is false light. We also move into the ability to tap into balance and be able to use water, air, fire and earth, so the 4 elements, to help us to have a better experience here on earth as well. We're able to use those 4 elements in a healthy way rather than a corrupt way. So a way that is going to help us just sustain life rather than cut the life expectancy down and down and down so it gets shorter. So once we understand how important and how powerful the mind is and how it interacts with the holographic matrix earth, we realize that it is all projections, and we have unfortunately had inserted certain programs into our consciousness as a humanity, as a collective, and that has had obviously a huge influence on our experience here on earth right now. And I speak about the energetic virus very much being a virus that targets the mind. Obviously, once we realize how powerful the mind is and that it can interact with the holographic matrix earth and can affect how we experience the world and see the world, it makes total sense that that would be the place that would be corrupted to begin with, and then obviously it's going to then have an effect on all other areas of our life and affect our body, affect how we interact with one another. But by bringing love into it all, we let go of fear And the energy of love really allows us to go into the mind and start reprogramming the mind. Very often, we'll go in, to the shallow depths of the mind, and we'll see something that we think is scary, and we'll run away. But what we need to do is bring that beautiful love energy in as a support there, and go in a little bit deeper. And then we see again illusion that maybe the thing that we ran away from to start with wasn't so big and scary. And being the creative beings that we are, we then can start reprogramming the mind and seeing things as they really are. And that's really how we use love as the antidote here. Love isn't the one that runs away. Love isn't the one that gets scared. Love very much remembers why it's here as an energy, remembers its mission, and helps the soul remember its soul mission. It's the mind that uses fear to keep us limited and stuck. And that is also why it's so important to remember our power as well. If you think about our point of view, which is very much mind made as well, we will only see a fraction of the whole, but we are the whole. We're in the center, and then all around us is the opportunity for a point of view. So if we are allowing the mind or the energetic virus to dictate our point of view, we're only seeing a slice of the cake. But if we're in the center, connecting with source energy and connecting with the ability to be a creator being and be whole, be in wholeness and unity consciousness, we're able to see the whole of the cake. We're able to see in a multi-dimensional way. We're able to see all of it. So that again is why the mind is so important to understand and understand and really get to grips with how it works and how it affects our whole reality. So I was thinking more about astronaut and cosmonaut, and also how that interacts with water as well, because obviously relating to space being the mind, going deeper into the mind, and also how the mind can program the water. So thinking about space travelers, I was thinking, what about space as in the mind? So they're travelers of the mind. And then I was thinking, relating to the outer space and the physical reality, and how we have got this playback loop. So if we have got say a faction on Earth that is really being geared to really going deep into our consciousness and deep into our minds and understanding how they can corrupt and manipulate, that would be going to inner space. There would be inner space travelers. And then it makes total sense that in our reality, we would then see space travelers going off into outer space. So whatever is going on within is going on outside of ourselves as well. So that led me to think about how we got here, all the things that have been happening on Earth right now. And it made me think that there obviously has been things going on in a secretive way that has affected our consciousness, that has kept us very much unconscious as a collective. And there is people that know a lot more about how the mind works, but that information, that knowledge, that wisdom that we've always had has been cut off from us, but it is being gifted back to us as we wake up, as we become more aware and more conscious. Everything that we already knew, but we were asleep to, we're waking up to it and we're being reminded of that. So everything that was once secret, so in terms of the inner space travelers going into our minds and into our consciousness and seeing what was happening there. I mean, there's clues going on outside of us with the outer space travel, and that's why some people are questioning, well, is that true? You know, did they, you know, go to the moon and land on the moon? They're questioning these things, and this is why it's important not to argue with people as well. You know, right now we've got people that don't believe that there's a virus on Earth at all right now, and there's other people that totally do, and they're both right, because if you believe that there is a virus, you will see a virus. If you believe that there is not a virus, then you will have that playback loop that there's not a virus. So they're both right. The same with flat Earth and the globe. They're both right. There's no point arguing, because that's how this holographic matrix Earth was set up. So don't argue with somebody else's reality, because that's very much their reality. The thing is, we've all got to agree on a theme, at least, that is going to help us all live in a sustainable way on this earth right now. And again, love is the way we do that. Compassion and unity consciousness. These things, they're really not that important at the end of the day. It's not that important about what shape the earth is. What is important is that we can all live together in a sustainable way here on earth right now, and we can interact in a healthy way. And that has not been happening on earth for many different reasons and for such a long time. So, talking about dark matter and light matter now. So I was thinking about when we ask other people, what's the matter? What we're doing is we're asking, what's on your mind? And going a little bit deeper than that, what we're doing is we're basically asking, what mind-made projection is disturbing your vibration? So what is the matter? You know, you've created something from your mind and seen it in the physical. Matter in terms of material, and light matter, I was thinking energetically, in terms of new earth and space and time and outside of space and time. And also that took me to inverted reality and bending reality. I did do an energy update speaking about that a little bit, which I'll link at the end in case you want to watch that. So this was just me musing and questioning, because like I said, there was a lot of information coming in I didn't really understand, you know, a direction that I have no experience in whatsoever. So I was going in energetically and feeling into it energetically. So dark matter, 85% of the matter in the universe is dark matter. So that would mean that more space equals more expansion, and more dark energy equals accelerated expansion. So I was then thinking, once we clear all the gunk, basically, all that negative chatter and inner critic type of chatter going on in the mind, once we clear all that out, we have more expansive space to be able to really, you know, go in deep and discover what we're all about. That's when we get more of our memory back and we start remembering, which means bringing ourselves back together. So it's all been a distraction. All these negative thought systems and programs, they've all been a distraction, distracting us from who we really are and why we are really here. And then I was thinking, well, did we perhaps actually need the energetic virus? As in, you know, dark, satanic energy to push us into higher consciousness as a species? maybe, although we, don't want to say, oh yeah, I want more suffering, I want the worst things possible that can happen. Yes, please. We can, like I said, use it all to our advantage, because the deeper we go, the more we learn, the lower we go as well, the higher we end up bouncing. So it's like a bouncy ball. We go low and we bounce higher. So as a species, we would only get so high if we went so low. So this virus is actually helping us to go lower than we would have normally have gone. I don't think any of us signed up to experience the things that we're quite experiencing right now. The energetic virus definitely has brought a lot of experiences that we didn't really envision or want or plan for, but we can use it to our advantage. So I was just like musing with that question. Did we actually need that energetic virus, that dark energy, to push us into higher consciousness as a species? Maybe we were plateauing, maybe we were just like not really going anywhere, and we needed that spark, we needed that friction, which is what I'm going to speak about right now. So friction is movement, and it is also contrast, light and dark. Duality gives us movement, but once you've learned so much about duality, you just end up on a wheel spin. So I feel that as a collective, we did decide we were going to come here and learn about all the themes and stories to do with light and dark. Then that theme got corrupted and we got satanic darkness and false light thrown into the equation as well. And obviously this is a free will planet, so the theme of free will then got corrupted because of the energetic virus as well. So if you think about movement leads to expansion. If you are just going round and round in a circle, you're not going anywhere. You're just covering the same ground over and over again. But by having a little bit of, I guess it's like if the ground is icy, you're going to put some salt down, and that salt gives it grit. It gives you that grit to have something to really keep you stable as you're walking. So we need that. We need a little bit of that grit. We need that contrast. If it was just smooth the whole time, it would be slipping all over the place. We need somebody to put that grit down so that we can then stabilize and start moving forward. So that's why it has been helpful to have the contrast of light and dark. If everything was amazing all the time, we wouldn't learn half the things we learn with the rough and smooth of life. So movement leads to expansion and also creation, which leads to growth and learning. So then I was thinking about in terms of just bringing the energies together. So 2 times negative, so I was thinking about organic dark and also satanic dark. So in terms of how that would affect the masses, so 2 times negative, like I said, in terms of the masses, the collective, humanity, should cancel each other's signs, so also give you an attractive force. So there would be still friction there, although we think in terms of dark being negative, we could actually use those 2 energies to stabilize each other out. And then 1 negative and 1 positive, so the dark side versus the light side, in terms of humanity, would lead to the final force of gravity having its opposite sign. So that makes it repulsive energy. So you push against each other. That if we had the pure light versus the satanic dark, they really they're just not a vibrational match at all. They're at opposite ends of the spectrum, so they would totally repel each other. So this is why it's important for us to go deeper into the depths of ourselves, because obviously satanic dark is at one end of the spectrum of darkness, and then pure darkness is within us and at the other. And I feel like that's why the energetic virus has very much gone inward and manipulated and corrupted our inner darkness. So we have got to stop being afraid of our darkness, because it is our darkness that is actually going to help us move forward out of this. It is our organic darkness that is actually going to cancel out the satanic darkness, if that makes sense. So the mass, so the amount of humans right now that are conscious to that, determines the strength and direction of momentum. So the collective, which is the amount that are going in a certain direction, is the mass of energy. So plugging negative masses, general relativity allows you to break causality. So causality being the relationship between cause and effect, which is action, and the after effect of that action. Obviously, there has been a lot of satanic things happening on this earth, and now we are dealing with the after effects of that. We have been unconscious for a long, long time, so now this is the after effects of that. We have been very unhealthy as a collective, so now this is the after effects of that. The beauty of this is we learn. When that happens, this happens. When we do this, that happens. When that happens, this happens, and we learn from it. And if we don't want it to happen again, we don't keep doing the same things. So if we don't want this satanic energy on earth right now, we have to stop doing what we've been doing. We have to do something completely different. If we've been scared of the dark, we have to stop being scared of the dark. We have to stop being scared of ourselves. We have to stop being scared of our own potential and our own power. It's time to be empowered beings. It's time to remember who we really are, and to start being deep divers and going into our organic darkness, going into the depths of who we truly are, in order to get rid of this yucky energy that we don't want to experience on earth right now. So there has been a breaking of natural law, that of universal law of cause and effect, and perhaps by time travel as well. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into that as we go through what I've learned and what I've been shown. There definitely is this ability to be able to slide up and down timelines energetically. And obviously, as more of us are learning about how we can timeline jump and learning how we can change our energy and vibration, that too has an effect on the reality as well. And there is certain things happening right now where that is going on a large scale. I'm just going to say particle colliders right now, and just leave you to figure that one out for yourselves. So there has been interference with the organic timeline on Earth by certain factions, and they may well have altered the whole timeline of the future Earth unfolding to support humanity's evolution and progression. But like I said, they didn't estimate on how powerful we really are, and also they forgot that the universe is always self-correcting. So however much they knock things out or try and knock things out of balance, The universe is always self-correcting. And if you are in tune with organic energy, if you are in tune with organic consciousness, then you will be on that same path where you will be forever recorrecting and coming back into alignment and coming back into balance. So I was also thinking about ecosystem as well, and thinking in terms of maybe eco is ecosystem. And again, it took me back to the holographic matrix Earth and how that works. So it's all reflections of what is going on inside of us. So the self energy and the thought forms, what will happen inside of ourselves. Obviously, we're going to have thoughts about ourselves, thoughts about others, our inner dialogue, our mental health, our vibration will all be factors of what is going on within us. So that affects the self, the mind, the energy, and the thoughts. And then obviously that is going to be seen outwardly. So we will see whatever is going on within us reflected or seen played out in the collective consciousness or unconsciousness, or maybe we'll see that in both, depending how aware we are and how sensitive we are. We will also see that playing out on Earth and in the weather and in people as well. So ecosystem can also be thought of as an ecosystem. So if we are not doing very well as a species, we are going to see that playing out in the world as well. And we're seeing that in, the way that soil isn't as nutrient dense as it used to be, because we are sucking the life force out of Earth because we have forgotten how to generate our own life force. And the virus is very much a part of that as well. The virus is very much an energy harvester. So the virus will suck energy from us to give itself life force. And obviously we see that in people that are energy vampires. They very much have forgotten that they can generate their own energy. So they will create drama and take the life force from somebody else. So this is about remembering that we can generate our own energy and we can sustain ourselves, and by not taking things that are not ours, by being all about give and take in balance, we are able to bring things back into balance. So I'm going to leave that today. I hope that has made sense. I'm going to share some more with you next week. And it's so important right now that we don't let fear be the driving force in our movements forward. If you are in fear, tune into your heart and explore where this fear is coming from. Is it genuinely coming from you, or is it coming from something outside of you? If it's coming from something outside of you, then push it away and remind yourself that you're okay. You're okay. You're here to learn. You're here to grow. You're a powerful being. So tune in with that power and empower yourself. If the fear is coming from you, it's important that you bring love into that and you face the fear. It's the only way through this. So I'm going to leave that with you today. I'm sending you so much love. I am wishing you a truly amazing day, whatever you decide to do. And I hope to see you again very, very soon. Goodbye for now.